every plate. The man to tell us is Andrew Voss.
Well, actually, Ken, there's a bit happening, and all the confidence seems to be with Bart Cummings. Catalan opening, when we arrived here today at Moonee Valley in the early market, you could have got as much as 12-1 on Catalan opening, winning the Cox Plate. Right at the moment in the markets, it's around about 8-1 for Catalan opening, so there's plenty who believe Bart Cummings can win back-to-back Cox Plates. As far as the favourite goes, still firm, 9-10, 10-9 on for Might and Power. And I know, Kenny, you wrote an article today in the Daily Telegraph back in Sydney saying, how can you make money around Might and Power if it is a shoe-in for the Cox Plate? Well, perhaps the idea is a feature double with a Melbourne Cup, and I can report, if you like, Might and Power into the favourite of the Melbourne Cup right at the moment, Faithful Son. Kenny, you can get as much as 10-1.
Gee, that doesn't seem all that generous to me, Andrew. I think I'd want better than 10-1, but still, Faithful Son is a very good horse, and of course, so is Might and Power. Well, the Cox Plate is such a great race. The BMW Cox Plate, all the trainers, all the jockeys, they get excited, they get keyed up for the big day. And if you're only a small-time trainer from Adelaide, like Gold Guru's trainer Leon McDonald, the whole day takes an even greater proportion. Cos Cardone has the Leon McDonald story.
I think sort of when you get to a race like the Cox Plate, well, you're there, aren't you? And probably you're hoping more than thinking that you'll win it. There's certain butterflies in your stomach, I suppose, but you get to the Cox Plate, well, what more can you do? You're there, and you either win or you lose, don't you?
Leon McDonald likes to talk about being there, and in Cox Plate week, hoping and thinking is something he's been doing a lot of. His horse, Gold Guru, has brought the likeable yet humble Adelaide-based trainer to the edge of spring racing's most sought-after prize. Not bad when you consider the horse himself was a sale ring flunky. As a yearling, Gold Guru couldn't even make his reserve of $60,000.
There was a bid of 58, and Harry said, no, my reserve's 60, he's not going. You can have him for 60, so they never took him.
And what's he won now?
Almost $2.5 million.
It's not bad, is it?
No, it's not bad for spare cash, I suppose.
Coming to the top of the rise, Gold Guru drew clear of Tie the Knot and Northern Drake. Gold Guru 2 lengths in front. Tie the Knot on the outside is the only danger. Dye's throwing everything at Tie the Knot, but Gold Guru's holding him easily at bay. And Gold Guru, he's as tough as they make him. Gold Guru by a length for Tie the Knot.
Spare cash is something Gold Guru and his owners banked a lot of in an amazing autumn. The AJC Derby was probably the clincher in Gold Guru being crowned Australia's 3-year-old of the year. But along the way, he also won the Amy Classic, the Australian Guineas and the Randvet Stakes, where he beat Might and Power in record time.
On the outside is Gold Guru, delinquent block for a run. Vitronitis getting up near the fence. Gold Guru hits the lead. Might and Power coming again. Gold Guru too good though, and Gold Guru coming away on the line, beat Might and Power.
And maybe some trainers with reasonable horses don't give themselves that same crack at it. I mean, there's plenty of 66-1 shots win Caulfield Cups and Oaks and all those races. They weren't expected to be here, but they won the race. They only win it because they have a go.
So today, Leon McDonald and Gold Guru have a go at Australasia's Weight for Age Championship. It's been a preparation marked by the doubters. Gold Guru, they ask, a champion 3-year-old in the autumn, but has he come on in the spring? 5 starts this time in and yet to crack it for a win. At his last start in the Caulfield Stakes, 2 of his opponents today, Might and Power and Tycoon Lil, had him well beaten.
Power by 2 lengths. He's won it magnificently for Jim Cassidy over Tycoon Lil, Gold Guru.
Even the jockeys have been jumping off. It's now with Patrick Payne, rider number 4 this preparation.
I had my first ride on him last time in the Caulfield Stakes. I've been away, so I hadn't actually seen much of his form. He must have been a good 3-year-old. I'm just wondering how well he's come on from his 3-year-old days.
He's the same horse and looked the same, and he was a little tiger in the autumn, but now they're sort of saying, oh, he hasn't matured, he's not big enough, but he's still got his motor there.
His admirers point out that unlike Might and Power and Tycoon Lil, Gold Guru has the runs on the board when it comes to Moonee Valley. He was a winner on this day last year in the Amy Vase.
It's all over bar the shouting. Oh, he canters over the line to beat Mustang Red.
It's the same distance as the Cox Plate, but Gold Guru's time was almost 1.5 seconds faster than Dane Rippers a few hours later. In fact, he's the only runner in today's field of 11 to have won on Moonee Valley's Strathayr surface. So at a place where they say dreams are made and hearts are broken, Leon McDonald and Gold Guru know that at the very least, they're on the right track.
Look, he's probably in the best 3 chances in the race. Who knows, if he handles the track better than them, if the races run to suit him better, well, you know, we can just hope that, you know, Saturday's our day. Good, mate.
Thanks, mate.
See you Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, he's done a great job with Gold Guru. Okay, the Amy Vase is the next race on the card. Let's look at the early totes. Mosman at $6.50, $2.20 for the favourite Spectacular Gold, $11.20 for Lord of the Pines, Runaway Shane Dye's Mount is at $4.70, $19.40 for Double Helix, Lord Larwood at $55.30 and Danelar at $4.80. Well, the horses should be around parading now, and the top weight Mosman to be ridden by Jim Cassidy and trained, of course, by Clary Connors. What do you think of him, Simon?
Yeah, trained very shrewdly too by Clary Connors. But the horse has really been on the up this preparation. He started off a little slowly, but just seems to have got better and better and closer to the top rank of the horses.
Simon Marshall went out to see Clary the other day, and Clary gave him a big leg up for this horse. Here's the interview.
Not a bad little fourth last start, and a nice second prior to that. As you'd think he'd be ready for this race.
Yeah, well, see, we had a little bit of a setback with the horse. He'd only had the 3 starts back in. This is his 4th, I think it is. And I'm pretty happy with the horse. He's better than the rest of them. If he could, that's his first try of the 2000. The conditions of the race, he drops down in class, I think, compared to the rest of them. There's one horse beat him over last start. But the horse is a tough horse, and he's becoming right at the right time, and I think he'll be very hard to beat.
And that's no mug talking, Simon. That's one of Australia's best trainers, Clary Connors. Of course, the horse he's got to beat is this horse, Spectacular Gold. Lovely chestnut colt by Spectacular Love, trained by Alan Williams and ridden by his son, Craig.
Yes, look, Spectacular Gold, I think this horse has had the hoof right on the till, for want of a better way of putting it. He's been there and thereabouts against the top class all this preparation, and today just could be the day.
Yeah, he was a great run in the Caulfield Guineas when he finished 3rd. I like the look of him. Number 3, Lord of the Pines, trained by Peter Hayes, ridden by Greg Childs.
Yeah, look, Lord of the Pines, he showed some good early form leading into the Guineas, but against the class acts in the Guineas, he just seemed to come up a bit short.
Shane Dye rides the next horse. Behind him, the Bart Cummings trained Runaway, a gelding by Stylish Century, who finished 2nd in the 1989 Cox Plate.
My worry here, after a great win at Caulfield with Shane Dye in the saddle, is that the horse may just get back a little far for this tight circuit at the Valley. I think the bigger tracks are going to suit him. Expect a bold showing. He might just come up a little bit too short in the end, but...
The next horse, the grey Double Helix, is trained by Colin Alderson, who's already had a winner today. He'll be ridden by Brett Preble, and, well, he finished 2nd to Runaway last start.
Yeah, a horse that ran a good race at Caulfield last start. I'm not about to say that the Colin Alderson stable can't win anything at the moment. They're on fire. They've won the 2-year-old race here already today, and I'm sure they'd be pretty confident of a bold showing here.
For a cricketer who's obviously heard a lot of Harold Larwood, number 6 is very aptly named Lord Larwood. He's by a sire called Touching Wood. He's ridden by Stan Sakos and he's trained by Len Trelaw.
Yes, I don't know whether Larwood was a late maturer bowling-wise, but this horse would have to improve a lot from his previous couple of runs to be anywhere near these.
Well, there's 6 males in the field and 1 filly, and the filly's TAB number 7, Danelar. There she is. She's trained by Lee Friedman, and crack jockey Damien Oliver is in the pigskin.
Every time she's taken on the best of the colts, she's just pulled up a little bit short and hasn't been able to compete with them. Today, I don't think it's the best of the colts. I think it's the B+ team, not the A+ team. So I think she can be right in the race in the end.
Well, Simon, now we've had a look at these horses, I want to show you why I'm backing Spectacular Gold. I thought his run in the Caulfield Guineas behind Kenwood Melody and Laurie's Lottery was an absolute ripper. He's in the lemon with the blue spots and the black cap, and he comes down the outside, widest of all.
He's one of these horses that has just come through this preparation and snuck along. No one's taken an enormous amount of notice of him until now. Each time he's run, he's improved. He found the line here. Yes, he was 3.5, 4 lengths behind Kenwood Melody, who won the race, but his run was full of merit.
what price would Kenwood Melody be here today? I think that this horse is looking for ground. He's got a good record at the Valley. He's had 2 runs here. He won one of them, was placed in the other. He's only had 5 starts in his life. I think he's got a great chance. A lot of people are tipping the Shane Dye mount Runaway, and Shane seemed very happy when speaking on the racing show this morning to be riding him. Runaway also won his last start with a big finish, and that was at Caulfield on 1,000 Guineas Day, and here he is in the blue cap, the blue and black colours, charging home. Here he comes down the outside, the blue cap, the white face, and just too strong in this race, Simon.
Yeah, the difference here today, the Valley circuit is a different one. It's a tighter one. There isn't such a run home for a horse to come around the home turn, get balanced and find the line. That's what Shane allowed Runaway to do at Caulfield. It just depends on the reaction of the horse to how he finds getting into the full flight of his race and still having to come around one bend.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit, I'm not convinced, put it that way, about the opposition he beat that day. The one filly in the race, Danelar, has certainly got a good chance on the strength of her last start second to In a Flurry in the Group 1 1,000 Guineas on that same day, October 14. Simon, take it away and point her out.
Yeah, well, In a Flurry, I mean, it is absolutely a class act, In a Flurry. Just inside In a Flurry, it's closest to us on screen, is Danelar. She ran in there a little bit, just ducked in under pressure. She still found the line, but look, nothing could compete with In a Flurry this day. Danelar was the best of the other fillies. I think she's one of the best fillies running around at the moment. It just depends whether she can compete with the Colts today. I suspect she can.
She races, of course, in the Doremus colours. How's things going in the betting room, Andrew? In the betting ring, Andrew Voss?
G'day, Ken. Well, all the money seems to be for Spectacular Gold. There's been some big bets on this one. A Derby Hope, of course, currently around 6 to 4, $2.50 in the ring. Lee Friedman's Galloper Danelar, also some bets for that, in from 4 to 1 to 7 to 2 or $4.50. The blower in the market has been Shane Dye's Mount Runaway, out from 3 to 1 to 9 to 2 or $5.50. We're only just getting warmed up on the Wide Water Sports. This is Cox Plate Day. We'll take a break and come back with more.
Well, there it is, the crowd scene on BMW Cox Plate Day. And this next race, the Amy Vars, is run over the Cox Plate course. 2,040 metres around the tricky Moonee Valley circuit. And, well, I think it's a great race course. It's great view from wherever you are. And the rider of Runaway in this race is Shane Dye. What tactics is he going to use?
From the 2,040 metre start at Moonee Valley, it doesn't really matter what barrier you've got with only 7 runners. The major thing to do is get on the fence or one off before you go around the first turn, which is about 300 metres after the start, because you can run off there. It's very, very tight. Now, Mossman will lead in the race. There's no doubt about that. He's got a lot of pace and he can lead 1,200 metre races. What you must do is get your horse relaxed after you go around this first turn, so you're rolling, because there's a lot of turns at Moonee Valley. This race begins at about the 800 metres. You turn there and they all take off from back. I'll be back on Runaway. Spectacular Gold will be back and they'll be charging home late. Mossman will be in front turning for home. But watch Spectacular Gold and Runaway get over top of him.
How's Spectacular Gold look, Simon?
Fantastic. Just sweated up a little bit around the neck. Had a nice warm up there by Craig Williams, but spot on for today. Lord of the Pines is spot on too. Most of these runners are sweat up a little bit around the neck after doing their prelims around the barriers. Mossman couldn't be much fitter, Kenny. Runaway, well, he's tightened up a little in the flanks, and you have to say spot on for today's event. I also thought that Danelar, well, she just looks immaculate. She's a lovely athletic-looking filly. As we've got one more to walk up, Kenny, most of them are very relaxed behind the gates here.
Here we're just waiting for Double Helix, and as he takes his place, they're ready for the running of the Group 2 Amy Vars. Here's Greg Miles.
But this is a good field. All in. Off they go. Spectacular Gold was the one that was a bit slow to move. Away fast is Lord Larwood and Danelaw in the centre. Holding onto the inside, Lord of the Pines. And here's Double Helix with pace from the outside the grey. Lord Larwood led. Double Helix moved up and joined it at the post. A lap to go. Mossman trapped out but can get in as Danelaw is easing back. He's wobbled a bit round that turn though, Mossman. He's still hung out on a limb. On the inside then, just behind them, Lord of the Pines by the 1,600 metres, and then Runaway, who's drifted back to be second last and 2 lengths to Spectacular Gold. Up the side, 1,500 to go, and Lord Larwood led. Double Helix is second. Mossman trapped out 3 wide. Lord of the Pines tucked away 4th on the inside. Danelaw's in a beautiful place on the outside, following Double Helix there. About 2 lengths to Runaway, and the blue and light blue colours, and Spectacular Gold last of all. Off the back, into the 1,200 metre bend they go now. Lord Larwood the leader, about a neck in front of Mossman, who's done it hard to sit up second now as they approach halfway. 2 lengths Double Helix, happy to have a trail into the headwind down the back of the course. A length away Lord of the Pines on the inside, and they're being followed by Danelaw. 2 lengths to Runaway and 2 lengths Spectacular Gold. Heading towards the turn at the 800, Lord Larwood by a length to Mossman, 2 lengths to Double Helix. Lord of the Pines a half length away 4th. A length and a half to Danelaw, 2 lengths to Runaway, and Spectacular Gold on the inside last of all. Off the back at the 800 metres now, Lord Larwood the leader, half a length clear on Mossman. Double Helix a length and a half away. Lord of the Pines a neck away 4th. Then Danelaw followed by Runaway and Spectacular Gold. The 2 back markers will need to get a move on. The school coming up, and Mossman went to the lead. Lord Larwood gone. Double Helix next, and now Danelaw is starting to work into the race well. Lord of the Pines in the green and the yellow colours is coming home near the inside. Mossman led. Danelaw the big challenger at the turn. Lord of the Pines is next. Runaway is putting himself in the picture. Spectacular Gold second last turning. Mossman in front. The filly Danelaw coming at him now, and Runaway starting to answer Shane Dye. Mossman, Danelaw and Runaway on the outside. Mossman fighting on courageously. Danelaw and Runaway getting to him. Mossman, Danelaw, Runaway the outside. Mossman, I think, from Runaway, with Danelaw just weakening slightly to third. A gap Lord of the Pines, Spectacular Gold never came into it. Beat only Double Helix and Lord Larwood to the line. Photo between...
Wowie, what a photo, what a finish between Mossman the leader, ridden hard by Jim Cassidy. We're waiting for it to be made official, but it's there now. Number 1 has got the money, Mossman. The numbers 1, 4, 7, $6 and $2.60 for Mossman. Runaway at $2.60. Number 7, Danelaw, no third dividend because there were only 7 runners. Well, there's the photo. There it is. Mossman held on. Runaway dived at him. Will obviously be suited now at Flemington at 2,500 metres in the Derby, but just wasn't good enough to run down Mossman today. And if you're watching just before the show, before the race, I should say, when Simon Marshall interviewed Clary Connors, you'll note that he was quite confident about the chances of Mossman. And Mossman, at his first middle distance try, has just held off Runaway, and Danelaw, the filly, not disgraced, only a half length behind them in third place. Around the turn, it's Mossman in front, Danelaw in the blue and pink getting to her. Then in third place on the outside is Runaway. The favourite, if you're looking for him, is second last and well beaten, Spectacular Gold. Mossman in front. Danelaw can't get to him. Now Runaway charges, almost gets there, but doesn't quite get there. And a very happy Clary Connors is now with Darren Beedman.
Well, congratulations, Carrie. It was a great win. He was left in front a little bit far from home, but he boxed on very well and run out the 2,000 strongly.
Yeah, he did, Darren. You know, as I said earlier, I was very pleased with the horse going into the race, and when that, the horse was wide going out of the straight, so Jimmy went forward. He seemed to relax, and I was quite happy. But then, as you can see, it was 700, 800 from home. The leader had gone. So you get left in front too far from home at the Valley, they run you down. So either was quite a good run, and he's run smart time, so I'm tickled pink.
One credit to his, one bow to his string, is he forward on when the other horses come at him, which is a great sign.
Yeah, he does. You know, he's a tough horse, and, you know, he's coming on. He'll go and run the Derby now. He's a tough horse, and he's... You know, it took him a few runs to really hit his straps in Brisbane, and sitting in the Brisbane, and the more racing you give him, the stronger he gets.
Well, it's a good way to start off the day, Clary.
My word is, hope it keeps going.
Thanks very much, mate.
Well, that was after the race, and he tipped him before the race. And I reckon Jimmy Cassidy is happy to get one under his belt. Simon Marshall?
Yeah, very much so. Jimmy Cassidy just rated this horse beautifully in front, and Jimmy was fortunate enough just to hold on.
Yeah, good effort, Simon. It wasn't run to suit, you know, and the leader packed up a long way out and tried to go forward.
Jimmy turning for home. You know, there was some doubt about this horse prior to the race running the trip, but you know, obviously giving that easy run in front helped.
Yeah, the big thing is getting them to relax, Simon, as you know, especially to make them run the trip.
Just picking your brain, 30 yards to go when Runaway and Dane Lahr challenged you.
Yeah, just keep going hard, mate.
Now, Might and Power, Jimmy, you're going to do practically the same. Hopefully dictate and lead all the way. Obviously a nice little hit out.
Yeah, nice blowout, mate. I'll sum it up when it comes, eh?
Yeah, good on you, Jim. There he is, Jimmy Cassidy. He just rode over 2,040 metres here. That's the distance of the Cox Plate, and he's winning already, Ken. That's great form.
Yeah, I reckon that'll do his confidence plenty of good too, Simon. Jim Cassidy, when he's on song, there's none better, and he rode Mossman a treat. As you heard Greg Miles say in the call, the Sydney sider wandered a little around the first turn, just past the winning post, but he got him going. He settled him outside the leader, took off when he had to, and when the leader collapsed, and well, there's only one decision that matters, and that's who's in front when the winning post is reached. What a day it is. It's Cox Plate Day, BMW Cox Plate Day. We'll take a break and then come back with more on the wide world of sports. Well, Waite's right for the race 3, the Amy Vase, and it's on 1, 4 and 7. And number 1 is Mossman in the green and white quarters on the right-hand side of your screen, hard ridden by Jimmy Cassidy. The widest runner on your left is Runaway, who finished second for Shane Dye, and Dane Lahr for Damien Oliver was third in the middle. What a race. 1, 4 and 7 as we recap dividends. $6 exactly and $2.60 for Mossman. Runaway $2.60. Dane Lahr no third dividend. 15.10 the Quinella. 83.30 the trifecta. Here's Nicole.
Thanks very much.
There it is, the Amy Group 2, race 3, $115,000 race there, won by Mossman. The winning connections there, every reason in the world to smile. Clary Connors, the trainer, he'll be a very happy man, and Jim Cassidy, it's a great one to get early on in the day. Now, I guess the popular view is that he's unbeatable. Might and Power, the surest of sure things for the Cox Plate. It's not just the view of the bookies or the punters who've really taken this mighty horse to their hearts, but also the trainers of many of his rivals in the big race. Besides Jack Denham, the character who probably knows Might and Power best is the man who spends a lot of time on his back, track rider Brett Grant. He shared his impressions of the champ with Paul Lockyer.
There he is, Might and Power.
A moment in the limelight for Brett Grant, taking Might and Power on a trial gallop around the Moonee Valley circuit last Monday before an inquisitive crowd. The partnership between racehorse and track rider, now 18 months old, is regarded as one of the keys to Might and Power's success.
Oh, I've got a good association with the horse. I mean, you know, every day I look forward to getting on his back, and he's certainly no easy task to ride. He's a handful, but he's very impressive.
Usually they head out in the darkness before dawn. Jack Denham insists that Might and Power is always one of the first horses out. Whatever the hour, he's always eager to race.
Most stayers, you know, they'll go around and head on their chest half asleep, and not this one though. I mean, that's why it suits him to race in front, because he's a speed stayer, and he's always got that edge about him.
An edge that has produced its tricky moments for Brett Grant. A horse that proved too much of a handful in track work for the jockey who would later ride him to Cup's glory.
When he first came to Jack's, I rode him a little bit of track work, and I was the first to say, look, he pulls too hard for me. I don't want to be riding him. I'd rather put someone else on him and get him going right.
Jack Denham decided that Brett Grant was the man for the job. The trainer has shown great faith in Brett's horsemanship ever since he first rode as a jockey for the Denham stables in the early 80s.
I rode my first city winner for the Denham stable, and as it turned out, I actually rode my last city winner for him before I give it away.
He gave up a battle to try to control his weight, much to the relief of his wife, Paula.
very tough actually, with saunering and wasting and lettuce leaves for tea and dry toast for breakfast 3 days before a race. Very hard, yeah, very hard.
Transformed to specialist track rider, Brett Grant had no trouble picking up work, but Jack Denham was his employer of choice.
In all honesty, I rate him second to none. He's a great trainer. He doesn't spoil horses. He has them fit and ready on the day, and he treats a good horse the same as he does a horse who doesn't have quite that amount of ability.
It's a philosophy that certainly worked with Might and Power, a horse that Brett now almost counts as part of the family.
Might and Power well clear.
There was understandable excitement in the Grant household as Might and Power swept to his win by a record margin in last year's Caulfield Cup, a victory that brought a tribute from Jimmy Cassidy for the track rider.
A special thanks to Brett Grant. He does a marvellous job on all these horses throughout the carnival, and without Brett down here helping me and Alan and Jack, certainly makes my job a lot easier.
As Might and Power fought out the tight finish in the Melbourne Cup, the Grant family agonisingly looked on.
I actually thought he got beat when the Greg Hall sort of saluted through the air after the winning post, and I was shattered actually. I started walking off back to Paul and the kids into the stand, and a lady actually tapped me on the back and she said, excuse me, did you back Might and Power? And I said, no. And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, just said he just won. And so I've turned around and I've looked at the monitor, and sure enough, the freeze frame, his head was in front, and I was just overjoyed, you know. It was fantastic. It was like a lot of hard work finally completed, you know.
It was a dream come true, and it was really, really exciting to have us all there. And yeah, it was a really good day, really good day. We all had tears in our eyes, I must admit. Yeah.
As he celebrated the win with Jimmy Cassidy, Brett couldn't help thinking what might have been if he could have remained a jockey.
Did it go through your mind that on that Melbourne Cup day, maybe it would have been nice if you'd been in the saddle?
I think I'd be lying if I said no, but yeah, that'd be right for sure. I mean, you know, it's my trade at the moment is a work rider, but you know, yeah, I'd love to have been there for sure.
And here he is, Might and Power, stretching right out. He really...
So Brett's appearances are left to the occasional exhibition gallops, but he doesn't mind that, not when it's on a horse that has captured the imagination of the public and leaves his owner choked with emotion.
You must be very excited to see the way people have taken this horse to their heart.
You know, when I saw him come into the straight again.
Something else.
Might and Power is the first horse beat.
But a poor run at Randwick recently raised questions about the popular racehorse in his build-up to the Spring Carnival. Might and Power was struggling to recover from a virus, and the Denham stable was worried.
We set a horse for a program, and we were running out of time with the Cox Plate coming along. But you know, the turnaround in Melbourne was magnificent, so at this stage everything's on track.
The turnaround was confirmed in Might and Power's emphatic win over Tycoon Lil in the Yalumba Stakes 2 weeks ago, and in his impressive gallop at Moonee Valley at the start of the week. Brett Grant has played a big part in bringing the horse back to his best, and while he'll happily share in a Cox Plate victory, he says it'll principally belong to Jack Denham, the one prize that has always eluded the veteran trainer.
It'll be good for the boss. I mean, we've had a couple of cracks at it now, and the boss wants this one desperately, so it'd be a very good moment, I feel. So.
And victory today would confirm an overseas assignment for Brett Grant and Might and Power, a start in the Japan Cup.
One of the nicest little guys in racing, Brett Grant, and I'm sure you'll agree that Paul Lockyer did him justice in that fine story. Right, time to go back to the betting ring now and get an update on the Cox Plate with Andrew Voss.
And Kenny, still a bit happening in the betting ring too. I'm still waiting for that even money about Might and Power right at the moment, still 10-9 on. There has been some money here in the ring for Gold Guru, who of course has a win over Might and Power to its credit, in from 14.